manager we created in the model section. That is post is equal to post dot or published dot. So I'll still able to pass the default ORM to call all the instances of posts that I created. And now I'm going to return it templates. So that is return. Then we use the render function and the render method. What am I returning? I'm returning the request. Then the templates I have to give into it. So we'll be creating the template in blog slash list blog slash HTML. Then we're going to be passing in a dictionary containing data to be passed into the template. That's the posts. Okay. So yeah, that's basically how you get all the data and return it back to the template. And you see from here, this basically this should be post. So you can see basically how we're able to pass in the data within that. So the next view to create is the detail view, and the detail view we are going to be using some try and except block. If you are very much familiar with Python, you should know how to use the try and except for exception handling, and that's what we're going to be using in this in building our detail view. So notice we imported an extra method from Django.http, which is http04, which is to return a 04 error when something you're looking for is not found. I just put this from Django.http 4. Then this is our detail view. Call it post detail. Take the requests and then ID, because that's the ID we used to get the data we're looking for. So I'm going to try. Okay, so post is equal to post dot published dot where ID equal to ID. I should guess. Oh, we have an error. Then accept. No post ID. So let me have concatenating the string using the so here we're going to still turn render request, then templates, which is log post HTML, HTML. We are still going to be passing the dictionary, which contains our then post we turn it back. So when we get to the more complex level, we are going to be passing when we get to more complex level whereby we are not just returning one variable or one data. Let's say for example we are returning a lot of data, we're going to be using a context dictionary to store all the data we're going to be passing in and then just add the complexity. Okay, So yeah, so let's me just make a comment to explain this. So here I try letting the post using ID. Then comment here. If I don't else error. So here basically I try getting the um the post. Now if the post is not available or it's not seen, it just throws an error that this post is not seen. Okay. Then there's so you can see we can use an extra method which is the get object of create poll or shortcut and minimize the code written, but we'll be coming to that later. Firstly, I want us to create I want us to look at this first using the method we created before looking into using the shortcut. So let's create our URLs. So for each application you create, you would have to create the URLs. I don't know why Django made it like that, but we have the root URL.py. So let me just stop this. Let me just copy this. Paste there. The reason I just need to import this from views. Let me pause everything. So this like this should be we're going to add in the first parts, and if you notice there's nothing here, which is basically saying that this should be the default part. So for example, now when you visit google.com, the default part is stored now, and we're going to be getting from views.that from view.list. Then we're adding a name. This name will be used let's say when you're doing URL routing, or it has many uses, but still if you don't pass it, it doesn't throw your program in an error, but it has many use cases. So yeah, I'm going to add a post list. So because I just imported everything in views, so that's why I'm adding it directly. And then the name post. Then for the detail view, we're going to be having integer, which is going to be the ID. Okay. Then we're going to be post detail. This should be post detail. Okay, so we'll come back here. Okay, we say post details, others. So you can choose to add an ending this here, but I didn't see the need, but it still works well. Let's save this like this, save this. Then the next thing to do is to make these URLs.py noticeable by the root URLs.py, so that it can be able to identify that there's an application called blog in its URL part. So coming back to the root one, we're going to be importing the include method. We're going to be creating a path. The path is going to be blog. Then we're going to be including all the URLs in blog, which is blog URLs. Then you can just add the namespace, and I think we have as a beginning. Okay. So this is a little bit of hints to make at least your applications follow some please make sure application have some neat code and also follow some coding points. So going back to this, and just add the namespace, so we can just delete it, or just add namespace to the blog. Let's find that the blog application is basically what owns this URL. But still, as I said, without it, it should work perfectly fine. Then let's create our templates. So we're going to be creating a folder inside of the blog application, and we're going to call it blog. Then inside of the folder called blog, we're going to be creating posts, and then we're going to be creating the base HTML and the list and the bit of HTML. So before that, I want to draw attention to something. So if we pay attention in the Elix section of the application, I talked about this, the template directory. So if you want your template to just be in one section, like let's say you want to just create the root template folder that contains all the folder for each and every application you have in your project, you can specify it here. But I don't want to do that. I want to specify each application as its own template. So let's come to blog and let's create templates. And inside templates, we're going to be having our base template. We're going to be using the Django templating engine. Then we're going to be having posts folder. Then inside post we're having the lists.html. Then also we're having the detail. Let me check if that matches the name I used. So I click it there. Alright, and then we'll be adding this to them. This should be the base.html. First of all, we're loading our static files, if any, but the project doesn't have any static files, so it's going to be loaded. And then we're adding some block tags, which I'll be explaining more on. But before that, please add them up. Let's just copy the templates. Let me close it. Base HTML. Okay. Format list. This is where basically our content goes. Then moving on, we have the posts lists.html, and this is extending from the base. It's going to be extending from base.html because base.html is the base template we are using, and because of the fact that we're using the Django templating engine, we didn't have to install any third-party or any third-party software or libraries. So moving to the lists, pasting that in, saving that. Then the title is just basically my blog. Then we have the blog contents. So here we have it. Then let's try visiting our root URL. In the book, the URL used was blog, but here we use the default URL. Let's try visiting the default URL. Checking if we have error. Find it. we have an error. Okay. 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 So our template does not exist. Let's check. Back here. This is meant to be a block. Right, and you can see we have our template here. This is our template engine. Then let's move on to the details stage. Okay, the next thing to notice is we didn't see our log that we created a database. So checking what was error. Come back here and the list.